Hey everybody, welcome to the Love Moves Podcast. I got my two sidekicks here, the money-minded Toya Capri and the hottest goddess Lady Z. And we're gonna come to you tonight, but we're encouraging everybody to call in tonight because we're gonna talk about the election and we want to know how you guys feel. What do you think about what happened? What could have been different? Whatever the situation might be, the pros and cons of the situation.
Why you didn't introduce our show?
I just did.
No, you didn't.
I said, "Welcome to the Love Movement Podcast."
From
Did I just do that? See, you.
Intellectual.
What's wrong with your ears? You got too much hair over your ears.
Yeah, I really do.
Yeah, you do. So, at the end of the day, before she interrupted me, but yeah, we want you guys to call in 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. We want to find out how you guys feel about this election because it would have been historic for the first non-white, non-male to be in office, and it didn't happen. And there's some reasons why that a lot of people have, on their mind about how they feel about it, and we would like to let you know. But before we get into that, we want to talk about our sponsors. We got the Red Door meeting place, very nice location, Rhythm and Blues Cafe, Forest Park. They've been throwing events that they did a Frankie Beverly event. They did a birthday for Denise Harewiz the other day. These guys been rolling. Then we got Stacy's Cafe in Bellwood, great menu. And then we got Casa de Pores, the cigar shop, one of the premier cigar shops in the area. And they're going to get I think they're bidding for the golf course over there on Madison Street. So it's going to be good stuff for them. And it'll be good. So go say hi to Viola Shy. And we definitely got the view, and they're making a lot of changes, and everybody's trying to get it right. And then we got the old reliable Blue Note, and then we got the Chicken Wing King. The old reliable Blue Note. You be there. You gonna be there with your
my business
with your paddle pushers on. What them flip flops? You got you gonna be in there. They gonna step on your feet too because you've been mean.
Yes, because they be stepping.
Yeah. So we want to thank everybody, especially our followers. Our followers, you guys have been great. But if you can, if you're near a phone or whatever, or you're interested in the conversation, we want to find out what happened. How do you feel about Kamala Harris not being elected as the president of the United States? So with that being said, I'm going to start off with you, Toya. What do you think happened?
Well, I think what the world, the American people have spoken, and really is indicative of where we are as a country. Donald Trump literally has 39 convictions. By all intents and purposes, he is a felon.
And then they want me to do a background check if I go get a job.
That's what's so interesting.
You
Isn't
know
that
what I'm saying? So it's terrible.
So I just think that, it's just really indicative of where we are. I think he had the luxury, I wouldn't say luxury, but he was in office previously. And, while most people felt like the economy, we were thriving more, he left a lot of debt behind that people behind him had to fix and inherited. And that's as a result. And as a result, that's where we are. So again, I just think that it would have been great to believe that people would see beyond gender, see beyond race. But I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked that it ended the way that it did.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Lady Z, did she have a fair chance from the beginning? What do you think about her chances from the beginning?
Absolutely not. I know a lot of people say that race was never a factor. Well, I wouldn't say never, but a lot of people are saying that race was not the factor. The fact that she was a female, America just won't allow us to break the gender barrier. People are afraid to have a woman in control, which I don't understand because a lot of people are
pretty much raised by single mothers. So I don't understand why we couldn't, or why people feel like a woman couldn't be in control.
Yeah, but my question, my thing is that did she have a fair chance in the beginning? Did she have a chance? She was only presented after they had Biden to
Right.
resign.
And
She
it was
only had
said she had
100
right. I was
days
going
to
to say
present
100
herself,
days.
and I don't think that was a fair chance anyway. So because of those that reason alone, now she raised a lot of money. She raised $1 billion.
Mhm.
So that's what made me think that we might get a shift because I was hoping, but I understand wholeheartedly this is a boys' club.
It is.
Yeah.
That presidency is a boys' club, and it's not going to be easy for a female just to walk through that door.
But what's interesting is a lot of the jokes and little nuances people would talk about women and their emotions. But Donald Trump is the most emotional leader I have ever seen. He
Okay.
is not emotionally regulated. He literally his ego cannot be bruised. He acts like a kid when he loses, and he's driven by his emotions. So while people can connect to him being acting like a toddler basically, it's just interesting to me that we were so worried about a woman showing up with emotions.
Yeah, well, I don't buy some of that stuff. I don't buy
Hmm.
because this is the thing. They've seen it for themselves. It's nothing that we can make up or create that we didn't see. But he made gestures on the TV as we're using the mic for
Talking
oral
about
sex, and
yeah,
then
God.
he talks about a pistol, uh, putting it in Kamala's face if she had 9 guns in her face, and what are you talking about?
It
And
was
this is the
disturbing.
things that America bought into. Because the sad thing is that the black vote didn't go out for her the way it should have, especially black men.
Hmm.
Now, how do you feel about that?
That's interesting. I wouldn't want to speak for black men. Um, I would love to hear their perspective on what was the thought process. We had two candidates, right? It's either Trump or Kamala, or you don't vote. So if most black men made the decision to vote for Trump, that's a very interesting pill to swallow.
Very interesting.
What you're a man, so what would be your
Well,
thoughts?
this is some of the things now. Uh, I'm on a hope and a prayer because I'm wishing she win. I'm wishing she breaking the barrier, and I seen some things that might work for her, but I saw some things that was against her,
Mhm.
not to her favor with the transgender thing,
Oh yeah.
and you having the first transgender person in the penitentiary, and you pay for their surgery,
Mhm.
so things like that. Also, putting uh, tampon dispensaries in male's bathroom. Those type of things I think that hurt her. And plus she only had a short period of time to explain herself.
Mhm.
Now I don't go for what these guys are saying as far as her being locking up black men. She was a prosecutor.
Right.
That was her job. These brothers came before her. But has she ever been sued for anything that she's done?
Mhm.
Has she ever falsely incarcerated some of these brothers? So those are the things that I look for. But I'm gonna tell you one thing that's very, very powerful. And people, if when it's used right, you can get results. That's social media.
Yeah.
When you had all of these brothers, Christopher, all of these brothers that was going against her, talking about, her locking brothers up wasn't fair, this and that and the other. That they ran with that. And so when the celebrities get on there and they say things like that, they influence these people.
Hmm.
And it's sad, but it's true. So everybody can't get on the mic because the wrong person get on the mic could destroy something.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel about it. So I don't as a man, she has some things on her side, but then again, she had a lot of stuff that was against her.
Yeah.
I remember her being asked the question, what would she do different than what Biden has done? And she said nothing.
Right.
and that I don't think that was a good response,
Right.
unfortunately.
And see,
Ooh, that's tough.
and another thing is that the people were saying, where was she when Biden was going through his 4 years of, and every time you saw a situation, it was Biden. It was Biden. It was Biden. Where was
I
Kamala?
barely saw him, to be honest.
Yeah.
He was sleeping.
Where was
half the
Biden?
time.
Oh, Jesus Christ. They say the man was asleep.
He was.
Yeah. He
You
was
know they called him Sleepy
falling.
Joe.
Yeah,
Now, that's the one
yeah.
thing Trump did make me laugh.
Well, that's funny. But at the end of the day,
Sleepy Joe.
where was she? Nobody saw her. And then it was like, okay, now we trying to get Joe to resign, and they pushed her out there, fight or flight. And she,
So you think they set her up for failure?
yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah,
think
without
so.
a doubt,
Mhm.
because the reason why is that they didn't have a viable candidate.
Yeah.
Because they would have shifted the direction if they would have had a viable candidate. Now, the second thing that I'm gonna say, her running mate. Hello, where is he at? I mean, I haven't heard anything about him. I didn't even know anything about him. She would have had a better chance to me if Governor Pritzker would have been her running
He
mate.
was under
He
consideration.
was undercut, but and to me, he is a candidate for presidency.
Mhm.
I think that he's got that personality and he got that money,
Definitely.
and that could help him. He could fight Trump with the way they handle business, and he can go for it. But it's still kind of interesting how this thing going. Listen, callers, please call in 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. We're just trying to find out how you guys feel about Kamala Harris. So, but back to our question, then you look at, what are we going to expect from Trump? What are the expectations for him returning to office?
Definitely the largest deportation in the nation.
Okay.
It's not funny.
It is
it's the
not funny,
truth.
but it's like I want to see if he gonna put his money where his mouth is. I know it's gonna impact a lot of families, but I think he spoke of a lot of like rhetoric while he was running, and I want to see what. And I'm not wishing that on anybody. I'm simply saying that he was able to influence people by making them feel like it was a threat to have immigrants here. They're taking resources, and I agree to a certain degree, but I don't think he was trying to posture it like there's so much more crime because they're here. I'm like, where are you getting this from? Like he could speak off the cuff, and none of it was factual oftentimes, but give it to the right person's ears, he's easily sounds believable.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, because he says nothing. So
Exactly.
anytime you say nothing but you there,
Yeah,
you can make somebody believe it.
absolutely.
And that's one of the problems with a lot of people across the country, in the lower class, middle class, or whatever the case might be. They're looking for a hope and a wish.
Mhm.
Now he's giving them what they want to. He wants to give them that they're, how did he put it? I'm gonna deport all of the illegal immigrants, especially the ones that cause problems over here. We're gonna take them off of Social Security. We're gonna get that money back, whatever the case might be. And I'm clapping for that because I get a Social Security check,
Oh,
and I want to be splitting it with
Everybody
that.
get a check
They're
from my
Yeah,
butt.
we
cats,
getting the
they're
check.
eating the
So, but
dogs.
at the end of the day, that's some of the reasons why because men kind of voted for him, because he said some things that he wanted to do that they picked up on.
But they didn't know that he kind of started this. This was
Sure,
orchestrated by him.
sure. But he said he's going to put his borderline stuff back in place.
Okay.
So that those are some of the things that
That
he's
part I
saying.
do believe.
Yeah, and it's interesting. But my concern is that these wars and his relationship with Putin and the North Korean Jong Tum Chim, whatever his name is.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
I was like, I have not heard that name
and I'm
before.
so slow because I'm like,
What's,
he's
what's
so
his
smart.
name? That's my question. So yeah, but the North Korean dictator and
He done
Putin.
pissed everybody off.
Yeah.
So that's why we have more import costs, because he's pissed everybody off.
Okay.
And I don't think he has enough diplomacy to fix those relationships, because he feels like he is who he is and he can play in his own arena.
Power
But
struggle.
you have to build relationships across country lines. It's not just about America. Obviously, we import a lot of goods from other countries. So you have to play nice. And I don't think he knows how to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting too, because at the end of the day, Putin and this North Korea, they didn't collaborated, and they're
That's
coming
a dangerous
together.
combination.
And one of the things that he said, 45 said, is that he wants to build our military to the highest, but hopefully we don't have to use it. And that's one of the things that he kind of discussed. And
But he's pissing off some pretty powerful people in the arena of military and equipment and all of those things. China has, for what I understand, one of the best militaries and equipment to go along with that. So why would you rattle the cage there?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting how he wiggles his way out of this. I think the blessing of it is that we only got him for 4 years.
Only.
Yeah, but
A
see,
lot can happen. Shoot, a lot can happen in a month.
See,
You
just
talking about
imagine
four.
if he could set the stage now, and in 10, 12 years from now, he could start doing different things. But he only got 4 years.
But he's trying to revisit, what is it, the
Referendum
22nd Amendment
2025.
that you can run as many times as you want as a
2025.
president.
Yeah, that's
Yep.
his referendum for 2025. Yeah, he's trying to put it
He's
together.
going to change the legal system.
Well,
He's going to have a clear record, no convictions,
uh,
probably.
Yeah.
Well, he needs to wipe the record clean for everybody.
I mean,
then, if
I
that's
know
the case.
if I go get a job, you can't ask me for a background check. All the convictions and titles and stuff he got for the
39
penitentiary.
of them.
Yeah, 39. I mean, that's kind of crazy. So,
Very
but at
much
the end of
is.
the day, it's going to be interesting how Trump goes. Listen, you can call in at any time, 708-223-8953.
Anytime.
708-223-8953. We're trying to figure out how we got to where we are with this election. And I was kind of disappointed too that the Hispanics or the Latin community, the brothers and the sisters, their votes were down. And it's not like he it's not like he beat her. He beat her. It was not close, not at all. It wasn't 50-49 and a half. It was, he beat her. And he beat her good. And because of the way they could tell who voted and who didn't vote, or what community the votes came out of, it was kind of sad for me to see that the brothers and sisters and the Hispanics or whatever didn't, go full force for her.
Well, man, I just think people either chose not to vote, which is, you're voting still.
Yeah,
you're still voting if you don't vote.
You don't vote; it's a vote for him.
Exactly,
and that's just
just a numbers game at that point. But he won the big states.
Yeah, I mean, the electoral votes, he had knocked them out before she even got almost 200.
I was like, man, it's 88 to 202. Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? So it was like, wow. So I don't know, but this is all I can say. For 4 years, we're gonna be in the circus because we got a clown in office. And you guys just buckle up because they're going to be sending out. I heard a few times today about emails and text messages that's going out that the KKK is getting ready to take over and stuff like that. So this is going to be part of the roller coaster.
I'm in DuPage County. I was starting to see pickup trucks rearing their engines. They got American flags flying out the back of their trucks. I'm talking, it was scary.
As long as they ain't got no Confederate.
I wasn't saying it almost looked like it. I had to do a double take.
Maybe waiting until
because they were lined up as if it was a KKK rally. Like they was ready.
Yeah, but I mean, ready for what?
I
He
don't
won.
know.
He
Shoot.
won the election.
Right.
We're not trying to hurt him. We're
I
not going to
know,
do
but it was
anything
just
to him.
the way they were
We
celebrating.
we want to see him the way he carried this thing out because that's more important than anything right now. All right, what are your promises? What are you promising to do? And we want to see the way it carry out. But I just don't believe that America is ready for a civil war, and that's what it would be
Mm.
if they cross the line, KKK, whatever white supremacy group, or whatever black supremacy group, whatever the case might be, we start crossing that line, it's gonna be problems, and so we don't need that, and I don't think
Hmm.
it's gonna happen. But yeah, but keep your head on the swivel because you never know. See, and the reason why you never know is not just about the American people. What about the foreigners? What about these people, the Muslims, that's upset with how the Jews treat them and all of that kind of stuff? Those are the things that you got to be careful for. You got to watch out for those foreigners and make sure they, you know, you ain't in court or in a big public place and there's a bomb, because that's what I'll be concerned about more than anything else. A lot of times we stand up for things, and America is it's a great thing. We never had a war on our own soil, and that's a good thing. But at the end of the day, we have to be careful who we train, and that's what happened with 9/11. We was careful. I mean, we trained those boys to learn, teach them how to fly, and then they turn around and they use it against us. So it's very, very interesting how this thing is going to play out and how Donald Trump is going to play his hand into this game. It's kind of scary, you
It
know.
is.
It's kind of scary, and I just want everybody to keep your head on the swivel. Know that you're in the circus right now, and you're gonna hear a whole lot of things, and it's gonna be reacted to a whole lot of stuff. The internet, you got to be careful of what you read and hear on that thing, and because that is the most allegorical, distorted spot in the world when you're using the uh, social media, and you have to be careful how you read it. Have to be careful what you put on it. So sometimes I don't even like the text because I messed up the whole thing.
Don't we know it?
Yeah, I know you should know it, and I mess up the whole thing, and I don't like the text because what you mean? What? And I was like, oh, I didn't mean that, but and at the end of the day, so I don't put that on social media because people get confused, and
Yeah.
you don't want to try to confuse anybody. So what do you think about 2028?
Yeah, we got to deal with 24
I
right
know. I'm
now.
like, man, I ain't even with that part
Yeah,
yet.
but see, that's what they're saying. They're saying that she might run for
Again.
2028 and she'll have a legitimate
Well, maybe she'll
shot.
be more prepared.
Maybe.
See, and that's
Better prepared, I
Better
should say. I wouldn't say
prepared.
more prepared. Better
Yeah.
prepared.
Yeah, maybe. I think she'll have more time to, maybe convince the people that were on the fence and maybe decided not to vote, or, unfortunately voted for Trump. He's going to tell a story these next 4 years. So it's just a matter of what that story is going to be. And either it's going to empower her to be a stronger candidate, um, or not.
708-223-8953. 708-223-8953. Remember that presidency is a boys club, and it's hard to break that boys
Yeah.
club. They've been doing it forever. We got lucky one time and had a brother to get in there, and okay, right on. But
Well, let the folks tell it. We ain't had a black person yet. Everybody that get on, they say they something else. So I don't know what we did here.
yeah, it's
Trump even, oh
It's-
God, he was horrible.
If they ain't from Inglewood, these folks gonna think they ain't black. So
He
we-
moved.
you looking like that.
but
That's how they feel.
but exactly that's why they voted the way they did, because they don't want, you got to be dark for them to think you black.
No, your mama and daddy got to be black.
Yeah. So, but that's how it is, and it's sad, and it's I was looking at the situation where a lot of the females didn't vote for her. when you had Dick Cheney's daughter and all of those celebrities and everybody that went to bid and bad for her, and them women still didn't vote for her, and that
College age women voted for her in large numbers. She got the young vote. She got
You
a
see
lot
what you
of
said, college age.
college age, but that's how Obama won
More
based off the
intelligent
young
folks.
votes. I know what you're saying,
So
but I don't know. Everybody has the right to vote, and some people don't put as much thought into it as you would think. And
tell me this: did you start looking at people differently when you saw who they were voting for? Do you think it should be
what
kept
you mean?
private? Like some people
Well,
that you wouldn't expect to.
Well, this is how they do it. They look at the community. They look at this is a black community,
Mhm.
and how many votes are we getting out of this?
I'm talking about you.
Your friends personally, do you
Yeah,
know
people
anybody
that you knew.
I don't know nobody that voted for Trump.
You don't?
You
No.
don't? I do.
No, not
Wow.
personally.
That's
Now-
good though.
No,
Yeah.
but because I don't get into that part of it. We have the right to vote.
Right.
Whoever you vote for is your business.
I know,
Absolutely.
but a lot of people have been very boisterous about
Yeah.
who they're voting for.
Yeah.
So I just thought maybe you.
No, I haven't had that
overheard or-
conversation with any of my
Oh
friends.
my
And
God.
if they voted for Trump or whatever the case might be, that's their right.
Mhm.
Now, would I look at them cross-eyed? Maybe.
That's the question.
Yeah,
So
but that's what I'm
I've
saying,
been
but
seeing it.
I
lately.
haven't had that discussion with any of my friends.
Yeah.
No. And most of my friends that we came up in the Young Democratic Organization in the 29th Ward on the west side of Chicago. So we're Democrats. So I don't even know some of the names on the judges that was on the ballot, but
I
they
was
were
like,
Democrat.
A,
And it was
B,
like,
C. It could be so crazy.
You know, so it was like taking a test.
Like what?
Yeah. And so and it's
We gotta do
interesting.
better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting how it works. So, but if you got any questions or you got any answers, leave it on the live page or whatever. I got TikTok. We open up, but we just want to know how you feel because we can't see what you're writing because it's a little bit far away from me. I can't see anyway. So,
Even if it was on the table.
So that's just how it goes. So, but anyway, listen, it's very important to vote. So you continue to vote. And one thing that I heard in her speech is never give up. And that's one of our mottos.
your line there.
We never give up.
She
We
had
don't-
you there, didn't
Yeah,
she?
she made
Got my vote.
she a winner right
I
there.
agree.
Never give up. Because if you do, I mean, it's a cause.
Yeah.
If it wasn't a cause, then it'd be a different story. But it's a cause that need to be, paid attention to on all angles. How she lost, why she lost, what was against her, what was for her. It's a cause. So we got to take in consideration everything that goes into an election. And
Well, she opened up the door. We're gonna have a woman soon.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, they pushed her in that door.
Yeah. That's true.
Hey.
She opened it up, but they pushed her in that door. And that's just how I feel at the end of the day. So, but now, since we talked about Kamala, now we got to go and see what's going on with these bears.
Oh man.
Come on now. Come on. Tell me what you feel, money-minded Toya.
Ooh, 'cause
Oh,
I have
we-
a dope club.
Well, I don't know. I think our expectations were high because it was clean house. We got coach, new quarterback, defensive line. So we thought we had enough resources to really be set up well. And I think it's the same problem we had with Justin, which is, to me, I think I didn't immediately expect the chemistry of the team to come together. I knew it would take time because Caleb was transitioning from college football to playing in the NFL. But I also think it's still centered around having balance on all sides, and the defensive line has just not been showing up like they need to. And it makes it more difficult. He's learning, and I think that when you have that combination of him learning and the defensive line not being as strong as they need to be, That's what we're seeing.
Okay.
That's what we're seeing.
Don't forget, call in now, 708-223-8953. But this is what I see. I see that the coach is not using the kids' ability
Correctly. Hmm.
They're not playing. They're playing against him as if he can't do what they think he could do, and they're not using him to make good decisions for himself.
Hmm.
Knowing when to step back, knowing when to run the ball, knowing when to get out of the way, or whatever the case might be. But then again, he's running for his life like Justin did because his offensive line is not doing. Now, I think we would be in a good position, a little better position, if we wouldn't have let him throw that Hail Mary and at the end of the game. And then 24 seconds ago in last week's
I
game
missed
against
it.
the
I turned the
Cardinals.
TV off. I thought we won.
Man.
And
We
I
all
went to
did.
sleep. I woke up. I'm like,
We
what
all
is these
did.
people talking
I was like,
about?
what the
I'm in
hell just happened?
I'm in Cooper Hawk in Oak Park, sitting at the bar,
Mhm.
and I'm sitting there and I look and I put my head down and looked up. I said, he caught that. And everybody looking at me on the table. I like, look.
Right.
And he caught that ball, and it was like, wow. And then then he's over there taunting the people and woo woo woo. Then he comes back into the play and he puts his hand on the ball. Should have knocked it down. but it
Yeah,
didn't
celebrated
work.
too soon.
Yeah, a little bit too soon.
Dang.
Like 4 seconds too soon. But
I
at
hate that.
the end of the day, I
so
wish
embarrassing.
I wish the coaches would get their heads together because they're putting this kid in a position where he's not going to be successful. And you got to put some linemen around him. You got to do some things. And it's an interesting thing for Justin Fields over there
How
in
old is he? You
Philadelphia.
keep saying this kid.
He's young.
Well, he's,
Like
he's
20,
I mean,
24 or something like
yeah,
that.
something like
Yeah.
that.
He's young.
Yeah,
Real
he's a
young.
kid. So when you put all this responsibility on the kids, and today I was looking at the NFL show, and they was talking about how the quarterbacks are regressing, whatever however words you want to use it. A lot of them used to come out of college, and they were ready for the pros, and a lot of these guys are not ready because the game has changed a little bit. So we wish you luck. I'm a Bears fan. I'm all the way the Bears fan. I'm going to stick with you no matter what. But I do get mad at you guys for, especially you coaches, man, because I see, why are you giving the ball to a lineman? He's running the ball in the hole, and you don't even trust your own running backs. You don't trust your own fullback. So I see some bad coaching decisions, and
He got a
it's kinda
makeover though.
tough.
Did you watch Hard Knocks over the summer?
Who got a makeover?
The coach.
What kind of
He didn't
makeover?
look like that before he started this season. He got a makeover.
What you mean? His hair, his
Hair,
face, his
his
eye.
facial
So
hair.
they implanted some hair in him.
No, he had hair. They just cut it.
Oh,
You look at the before and afters. He looks a lot better than he did, younger, I would say, than he did before.
okay. I never knew that.
A lot of emphasis
never
on
got
that.
into it.
Yeah.
Well, we gonna
He was
go
working on the
Bears.
wrong thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Talking about outfits.
So I'm a Chicago fan. I root for the Sox. So I root for the Cubs.
Like now?
Right now, I want the Sox to win. I want every Chicago team
Not the
to win.
sucks.
Yeah.
No,
I
I'm
was
just
gonna say
playing.
they got a
Yeah, they got a long way to go, but
Mhm.
that's okay. We starting in the right direction. We got one of the guys that used to coach the Cubs.
on the team.
Now he's the coach for the White Sox, but he came from Texas, who won the championship two
I didn't know
years
that.
ago. Yeah,
Okay.
Texas. He came from Texas. So we hope it works out.
Okay.
Well, that's sports. But don't forget to call in. We want to hear from you, 708-223-8953, about this election, because there's a lot of things still going on that we don't understand that you guys might have answers to. But while we're doing that, let's talk about this relationship type of thing. I've been watching
relationship.
out
combo.
there that it's been funny, and I saw something and it brought it to my attention. Who has a problem with being committed, men or women? Who has the biggest issues?
I think, well, back in the days.
Back in the day,
Back in the
Back
day.
in the days when I was young. No, I think it used to be men, but now I don't think there's discrimination when it comes to that.
No.
It's now women too. that don't want to commit.
But why?
I don't know.
Why do you think?
I think for me, I would say, well, let me not say that because I don't mind
You
committing.
definitely committed.
But what I'm saying is, as I get older, I become stuck in my ways, and I think we all do.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And because of that, you just get comfortable with how you're living, and it's hard to really, really settle down.
That adjustment
Yeah.
period is,
Yeah, I shouldn't
is
say settle
different
down, but yeah.
because in my situation, it's been a long time. So I've been
Wait,
by
well, I don't know
myself
your
for
business.
so
I'm talking
long.
about- yeah.
I mean, I've been by myself for so long. So anything that comes into my world is new. So I have to,
Adjust.
Yeah.
but I have to be considerate if I'm,
Right.
if
you're
I want to be
pursuing
a
it,
part
yeah.
of this relationship. So it takes a lot. It takes a lot of consideration or whatever the case might be. But you got to know what you're gonna do.
Do you often find yourself comparing situations to a previous relationship?
This is what happens with me. I had whatever I went through, whoever I went through it with, bless you, ain't nobody, no blame. But at the end of the day, I found out what I was used to. So now what I'm used to, there's something different
Mm-hmm.
that came into my world. So I got to take all of that in consideration. Is this something I truly want? Am I interfering with this person's life? I'm gonna let this person interfere with mine. Are you coming in to invade my privacy? Am I invading your privacy? There's a lot of things that you have to consider because it's an investment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Your time, your money, or whatever the case might be. It used to be a time where people would say years ago, people get married for love.
Yeah.
Don't believe that. It's a
My
financial arrangement.
grandfathers will tell you what's
Yeah.
love got to
Got to
do
do
with
Yeah,
it.
but it's a
Like
financial
everything.
arrangement for some
Everything.
people,
Yeah.
right? Because I mean that's just how I looked at it. And everybody's experiences are different.
Yeah.
So I don't put that on there. But it's a little bit it's different. So what do you think? How?
I think women have more options. I think women are more independent and
Now.
now more than ever. And so, you may have needed, say, 30, 40, 20 years ago, the stability of a relationship for the financial reasons. But now women are making their own money. They can move how they want to move. And because they have gotten so accustomed to that independence, they don't want to cohabitate with somebody that's going to try to dictate to them how they need to be moving. That's just one aspect of it. But I still think people get married for love. I hope so.
No. Well, I don't know because
I hope so.
I can only judge by me. You
Well, I'm
see
an
what I'm saying?
independent woman, but I need
I
me
need
a
me a
man.
man.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And
And I'm sure they need us too.
oh yeah, but for
Shoot.
what?
Yeah.
See, this is the question:
But
is
what is companionship?
companionship?
Why is
Is
it
it
cutting
just a
the
sexual
grass?
thing? Is it just a
No,
sex? See, no, you ain't
No,
playing. No, you're not playing.
Somebody
Painting the
fix some
fence.
stuff, yeah.
No,
You know,
honestly, that's when
wash
you
the
realize,
dishes.
oh yeah, I need a man.
Wash the dishes. He gonna run everything in the house: the vacuum cleaner,
Yeah.
the toaster.
Laundry.
That's what. Yeah, but people for different reasons, and I think a lot of it has to do with social media, uh, 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 reality TV. A lot of those different programs that's on
Yeah.
TV. That's like you got that one program on TV where the lady is a madam and she got a whorehouse and she running girls and boys too.
Damn, I missed that show.
Yeah,
What
no,
is
it's
that called?
The America's Top Model Eve. Something I forgot her name.
Yeah,
Okay.
But I forgot what
she got one of them strip
Queens.
clubs, Queens, something
Queens
like
or
that.
something.
Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah.
so you see all of this, and this influences these kids. These kids are on here,
If they only knew.
It's you see what I'm saying? It's just like Dwayne Wade. They gave him a statue that didn't look nothing like Dwayne
What
Wade.
the hell? What was that?
Somebody was making jokes about
He saw it though. He saw
And
it
he
while it
blessed
was.
And he blessed it.
Yeah.
Is that what you sure he did?
No, they
The
they
way
got
he
a they
looked
got an
at it.
actual picture of him looking at it while it's getting made.
Well, you know they was telling jokes. You shouldn't have changed your son. They wouldn't change your statue.
Man,
So that's how they tell jokes. But
that
hey,
look
man,
nothing like
he
him to me.
deserve all the honors he get for
He probably thought it looked like
Miami
him.
Heat. But they say he
Girl,
was
bye.
talking when he always talked. He say, "This is my house." So I guess he
No,
had
his
that
face,
facial
yeah.
expression. This is my house, like that. So that's what they tried.
Like even my business
Enjoy.
logo, I thought looked like me, but I had people come in and said that don't look nothing like you. I'm like, that's me.
Excuse me.
I added more lips, but that's me.
Yeah. So it's very interesting how the sport game and all of that stuff.
But
goes.
you don't think people marry for real for love?
Well,
I'm just baffled by that.
they might do.
I hope
but,
that's not the
but-
case.
But
I love love.
I love love.
don't get me started. 'cause
Points.
my journey is different from you guys, so I see things a little bit differently. And being I'm not old, I'm a little older, but I'm not old and I'm not an invalid or whatever. So there's certain things that still attracts you.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Stability.
But I want authenticity.
Yeah.
I want sincereness.
Yes.
See those words that are not being, people talk loyalty, people talk all of that. Show me.
Yeah.
I'm from Missouri. If that's what they say, to show me, show me, because everybody can do this.
Mm-hmm.
But now putting this time, put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah. I agree with that part.
But
We
with
live in
all
a
of
hot
that comes
pocket.
love.
No.
You don't think so?
I think what I think Chris is saying is that like we live in a society where everybody is out to get something, right? And so I think that in that, I still think that a partnership marriage, yeah, you are going to, everybody is out to get something.
I was gonna
And
say,
it can be
I don't.
companionship, it can be stability, it can be, friendship, it can be a number of things. I still think
And
the
what's
core
wrong
of
with
it
that?
should
What's
be
wrong
love.
with that? Seeking
Nothing,
out
not to
somebody. I mean,
me.
I feel like everybody should serve a purpose in your life.
Yes.
Whether it's a relationship, a friendship. Yeah, everybody got to play a role.
But I think the core of it still should be love. I don't want to just be with somebody just to say, "Hey, you come over here." I mean, I
But
think
don't
that
you
some
have to
people
learn
marry
how to
for-
love somebody?
You can.
Yeah.
Does it take time?
I think you can.
Well,
Absolutely.
that's my point. This is my question.
Mhm.
So it ain't no jumping up love at first sight.
No,
Oh.
definitely not. No, definitely not.
It's rare.
Yeah,
Very
but,
rare.
But you have to. You got to take your time and you got to make an investment,
I agree.
and then you got to get a return on your investment.
I agree.
You
What
see
type
what
of
I'm
investments do you make
saying?
nowadays?
Time is
Spend
an
time.
investment. It for sure.
Time is
is.
an investment. If I'm going to be with somebody or whatever the case might be, I want to spend time. And what they say a lot
Ooh,
is quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, just spending time, that's a difference. But quality time where she's teaching me something,
Yeah.
I'm teaching her something, and we're learning together.
Mm-hmm.
And we're learning about each other. We learn about what we like. She's learning about what I like. I'm learning about what she's like, what she likes, and stuff like that. So that's that quality investment time.
Mm-hmm.
And the most important thing about that is conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When you together, talk about it. If it's something that you feel that didn't sit right with you or whatever the case might be, have a conversation about it. Because if you let it go on, then it's going to change the narrative.
Mm-hmm.
The narrative will change quickly. And you got to be careful what the approach is. So you have to be considerate, understanding to that person's needs, how they grew up, what they learned when growing up, what their parents taught them, whatever the case might be, because it's totally different for everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think you have to speak to somebody how they can best hear you. I don't think like some people like straight shooters, like say, tell it to me straight. Some people want it that way. Some
Right.
people want you to be delicate. So you have to know it's not just to me about conversation. It's about communicating in a way that the other person can receive it. You're not going to
Right.
put them on the defense by saying something that you know is going to be a trigger for them, or you know is going to put them on defense and they're not going to hear what you're saying. It may be something they really need to hear or correct, but it's all about how you package it.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people struggle with that. They
And-
communicate how they communicate, but not thinking about, okay, this is my audience. I need to communicate to this person this way in order for them to receive what I'm really trying to give them.
Right.
That's important.
Yeah.
And that's very important. So, I mean, everybody has their way of doing things. And it's, it's interesting. I wish we'd have had that historical moment on Tuesday, but it didn't happen. And I'm not mad about it. I'm not sad about it. I'm just trying to look at it and see how this thing gonna turn out. Because that's very important for me to find out what moves are gonna be made or whatever the case might be. Remember, ladies, gentlemen, the ones that didn't vote for him, didn't vote for her, or the one you didn't vote for, you still gave a vote to him. 39 felonies, convictions, impeachments, whatever the case might be, and they got to do a background check on you when you walk in that door. The game has changed totally, and he's putting himself in a position where he's really gonna be a dictator. He's gonna they control the house. I mean, they control some seats in the house now, and it's gonna be interesting. But whatever you do in life, you treat people the way you want to be treated, and you never give up. That's our motto, but that's just not what's happening right now. People are not treating people the way they want to be treated, and some people are not thinking for themselves. So, ladies, great show. I appreciate you guys for showing up. Next week we're gonna have Dr. Valerie Humphrey come
Okay.
back. She was just a administrator when she was here first time, and now she's went and got her doctorate degree, and she's going to come back and talk about a Black Expo program for high school students that'll be held at Addison Trail, and we're going to give her the audience, and they got this thing coming up where they'll have Black entrepreneurs and in the business world and educators and all of that, bringing the kids information where it's going to be valuable for them to do it. So, Earl, thank you. Appreciate you. My friends, never give up. Thank you, fans. Never give up.